Hey everybody, Jim here. Welcome back for another edition of More Games. And would you look at that, I got some more games. I said in the Switch Pickups video that I did recently that I've also been playing a lot of PS5 as of late, which is true. I'm pretty much addicted to the thing. Thank you very much, Destiny FOMO, for sending me my latest addiction, but I've been having so much fun with it. And as a matter of fact, some of the games I'm going to show off today, I've already written full reviews of, so those are going to be coming out soon. So some of these I might not have too much to say about today, saving it for the reviews. But definitely I have some thoughts on these games. So I've got a mix of action titles, shooting games, and fighting games. I've got a lot to say about all of them, but I will just say that it's a mixed bag, some highs, some lows. But the highs have been very, very high. I've been enjoying some of these games immensely. Speaking of, we're going to get started with a game that I've already completed the full review of, so that'll be coming up very soon. But just, I'll say it here as we're talking about it. But man, did this game blow me away. You might even say it blew my balls off. But that is Robocop Rogue City. Okay, Robocop Rogue City. This game was awesome. I'm not going to go too into super detail because I enjoyed this game enough that I actually already finished a full review of it. So that's going to be up on the channel pretty soon. So here I'll just say this game, oh boy, was this such a pleasant surprise. As soon as I heard there was going to be a new Robocop game, I was kind of tentatively excited about it just because Robocop and to a lesser extent Robocop 2 they're really awesome movies, and I knew this game was going to be a direct sequel to Robocop 2, but those movies were so brutally violent and the writing was just really hilarious, and I didn't know if that was going to be effectively recreated in a game. But I did know that Tekken, the developer, they had previously made a really crappy not Robocop, what the hell am I saying? A crappy Rambo game, which is too bad because I love Rambo as well. But then they made a Terminator game that everybody was swore up and down was the best Terminator game ever made. So that kind of, built me some confidence for Rogue City. And I loved this game, one of my favorite games that I played from 2023. The story is pretty good. It's pretty engaging, I would say. Again, it picks up right after Robocop 2, so it's still very much R-rated, unlike Robocop 3. So this game is the writing is pretty funny. Peter Weller is voicing Robocop, and he's the best bit of the voice work in the game. The rest of the voice work is okay. It's middle of the road, but his is still really good. But the gameplay is excellent. There's a bit of investigatory work that you can do, and errands you can run, and crimes to solve, and this, that, and the other. But the real meat of the game is the action. As Robocop, you have that really cool handgun that he has holstered in his thigh, and you go around and you just shoot lots and lots of bad guys. You shoot their heads off, their limbs off. You shoot them in the crotch, just like in the classic Robocop film, and it's extremely bloody and violent, and very cool. You get a ton of other weapons too. You get 50 cal machine guns, sniper rifles, shotguns, assault rifles, all kinds of stuff. But the basic meat and potatoes of the game is you kill a whole lot of criminal scum, and it's very fun, very entertaining to just watch the environment slowly get destroyed as you're just firing indiscriminately everywhere. The blood is flying all over the place, explosions and fire, and it's just awesome. You can also punch bad guys if you're close enough to them, which kills most of them instantly, or you can grab them and throw them around like rag dolls, which is really fun. So just gameplay-wise, when the action is hot, it's really, really fun. All the other stuff is pretty good too. It's mainly helped by just how funny the writing is and how good the delivery is by Peter Weller. But the real reason to play this game is for the action, for the shooting, which is just fantastic. I'm typically not even a fan of first-person shooters, but this is the kind of stuff I do like. You're Robocop, so you're basically just a big tank walking around, blasting people's heads off, and it's awesome. And the visuals are pretty nice. All the environments look excellent, and they're very destructible. The character models, not so much. Robocop looks awesome. But a lot of the other characters kind of have like a rubbery, plasticky kind of action figure look to them. But Robocop himself looks great. All the environments look great. The destructibility, the blood, all that good stuff. I just thought it was excellent. So, again, that's just like a short synopsis. I have a full review coming up. But for now, just know if you like a good action game, and I mean a good action game, Robocop Rogue City is right up there with the best of them. Check it out. Next up, we have Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. And I did an initial thoughts video on this the day I picked it up. So I don't have too much to add to it. I'm considering doing like a fully written and produced review of it. But for here, I can just say when I did my first impressions, I was like, I don't know, maybe 30% done with it. Now I'm about 3/4 done. So I've got, I guess, all I really need to know about the game. The story is pretty cool. You end up going to this big citadel at Mount Kof, and it's like under a curse, so like time and everything is working differently in there. There's like monsters and zombies and wizards and all kinds of cool stuff. It is a Metroidvania style game, so if you've played other games in that description in the past and you've liked them, maybe like old Metroid games or Castlevania games that play like Metroid, if you liked those, you'll probably like this too. If you don't typically like Metroidvanias though, probably skip this one. My issue with the game is like the combat is pretty fun, but sometimes it's just like excessive, because you kind of have to engage in combat with the various enemies and stuff to earn crystals to buy power-ups and things, when the real joy of playing a Prince of Persia game is the platforming. And the platforming in here is really good, especially as you advance a little further into the game and you unlock some more abilities. The puzzle platforming, it's really tricky. It's very rewarding when you finally get a sequence down and you get through everything all correctly and you get whatever it was you were trying to get at. That's still really great. So I would say like the platforming, really good. The combat is kind of so-so. I can take it or leave it. But generally speaking, this is a very fun game. I do typically like the Metroidvania style games. So I was happy with this. I don't think it is as good as the older 3D Prince of Persia games, the Sands of Time trilogy and all that. But that's just me. That's just my taste. So pretty good game. Story is pretty cool. The characters, everything, that's all well and good. But I did hear that this game is not selling very well, which I think, that's maybe a few factors there. One, right now everybody's kind of like, fuck Ubisoft for being dicks and for saying all kinds of dumb shit they shouldn't have said. And also I think it's just because it's Prince of Persia, and it's been a long time, and at this point, I don't think, Prince of Persia isn't exactly like a hot property. Ubisoft's big deal was like Assassin's Creed and all that. They really, really milked the shit out of Assassin's Creed. And now they're back with Prince of Persia, and they're like, hey, a new Prince of Persia, and it's a Metroidvania. And I think most people were just like, alright, who gives a shit? So, yeah, there you go. But my general thoughts on it right now, a good game, a good action platformer. Not a great action platformer, but a good one. And if you do like this style of game, then I can give it a recommendation. If you don't like Metroidvanias, then I would say pass on it. But that's my thoughts on it as of right now. It is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. It's pretty good. Next up, I finally got around to playing Street Fighter 6. And this may surprise some people, considering my history with the Street Fighter series and fighting games generally, but so far, I do not like this game. I don't like it one bit. There's a lot of, I guess, a lot of factors in there. I mean, I started playing it. I went into the training mode and just started playing around with a few characters I was already kind of familiar with, Kin and Zangief and whoever. Just trying to pick up some combos, maybe some of the new gameplay mechanics before I started taking on maybe like some arcade mode and whatnot. And I played through the arcade mode several times, just trying to get a good feel for the game, and I just wasn't really enjoying it. I can't really say what it is. I can't put my finger on it exactly, but as I was playing it, I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. It just wasn't... It wasn't grabbing me. I don't know. Street Fighter 5, I think I played once in my entire life. It was in an arcade, so I sat down to play it a little bit. And I had kind of the same reaction. I was like, oh, alright, whatever, that was okay. So, yeah, there's just the gameplay wasn't really doing it for me. The music, I was hating the music. I didn't really like the redesigns of the old characters. And the new characters I just found kind of annoying. I didn't really like any of them either. And then, so I went ahead and tried out the World Tour mode. And I hated the World Tour mode immediately. You're this silent protagonist, so it's not a self-insert because I wouldn't be like silent, there's like, oh, you make your character and it's like a self-insert. I'm like, but no, it's not. I'm not like a super ripped muscly guy who never speaks ever. I couldn't really attach myself at all to like the characters I was playing because it's like a story mode or something. It's like, it's supposed to be like that, so I need a character to, keep my interest. So there's no character. The only characters were like Luke, which is, I found Luke very annoying. I don't like that character at all. And then there was the other guy, I already forgot his name, but he's like the kung fu guy with like the lame K-pop hairdo. So he was obnoxious and lame. And then you go into the city, and then you're running around like fighting like elderly people and whatever else. And so I was playing the World Tour mode. I thought the characters were obnoxious and lame. The music sucked. I didn't like the gameplay at all. And I didn't like all the random stupid, tasks they were making me do. Go buy this stupid hat. Go do this. Go do that. So I played that for about an hour, and I just hated it. And I don't think I'll be going back to that ever again. And so the only reason to play Street Fighter 6 would be to, go and play online and rank up and whatever else. And I just don't, I'm not compelled to do that. I don't like the gameplay enough to actually want to get really good at it and then go play online. It might be just, I've changed maybe. I enjoy just the single player experience of games more now. I'm not the fighting game aficionado that I was in my youth. And I don't mean to like disappoint anyone or anger anybody, but right now, I'm gonna try it again. I'm not such a cynical person. I'll give this game more time. Maybe it'll grow on me, and maybe if I like get into some online fighting or whatever. But I really hate that. I don't have a competitive edge, and I don't even really like playing games online. I don't like playing games with strangers. So right now, I hate Street Fighter 6. And that sucks, but hey, it is what it is. Street Fighter 6, it's in my collection now, and I'll probably sell it pretty soon. I'll probably take it to a book off or something. But there you go, Street Fighter 6. It's not my cup of tea. Next up, we got Tekken 8, and I just realized now I talked a lot about Street Fighter 6. I might have to cut that down a little bit, but Tekken 8. Okay, I got Tekken 8 because I'd gotten Street Fighter 6 and hated it, and I was like, man, and I was like questioning myself. I was like, do I just not like fighting games anymore? Well, let me go ahead and get Tekken. That was like my other favorite fighting game series back in the day. Tekken 5 specifically. Tekken 5 and Street Fighter Alpha 3 were like my two big games back in my youth. So I grabbed Tekken 8, started playing it, and again, this is a game I'm enjoying it a lot more than Street Fighter 6, but considering I didn't like Street Fighter 6 at all, that's not saying much. So like it's Tekken, it's still fun. I haven't started the story mode yet. Everyone's saying that it's like the best story mode a fighting game has ever had. I'm skeptical of that because the story of Tekken has always been stupid and lame. Even when it was like the Like the anime, the Tekken anime is bad and the story sucks. And then there was Tekken Blood Vengeance back in the day. And I remember sitting down with my friend and watching that. He had downloaded it off of like BearShare or some torrent site or something. And we're sitting down watching it on the PC. And good lord, that movie sucked. It was just terrible. So historically, I've never cared about the story of Tekken. And even when they do something with the story of Tekken, it's always terrible. But I do still need to play through the story mode, or at least start playing through the story mode. Basically, all I've done so far is I've, again, played the training mode, tried to pick up some combos, some of the new gameplay mechanics with a few characters, and then jump into the arcade mode and do some runs through the arcade mode, and just try to get comfortable with the game. Again, I don't like playing games online, really. I'm not a competitive person, at least not anymore. And I don't like playing video games with, like, you know, total strangers. I just don't. I don't know, maybe it's old man Jim, but that's just kind of how I feel. So I'm realizing now that the focus of new fighting games, that's what it is like playing online and ranking up and doing all this stuff. And I'm now realizing that the focus of modern fighting games is something that I'm completely not interested in. So I have either just all the single player stuff that they have included, or sitting on my couch and playing with a friend or something, which is very, you know, rare occasion. So this game, I mean, it plays good, controls well, it's fun, the graphics are really nice. The music, again, is kind of whatever. I mean, I don't remember any of the music from the stages. I just remember the music from the menu, where it's just like, oh, I hate that. That song sucks. And the song that played during the intro cutscene, the opening cutscene thing, yeah, that song sucks too. I don't know, I sound so negative today. I'm sorry, everybody. But yeah, this is much better than Street Fighter 6, but still, I'm probably not going to play this very much. I am gonna go ahead and try the story mode out. I'm gonna maybe dabble with some online play, but I doubt I'm really gonna have any fun with it, honestly. But, you know, that's me. I'm cynical old Jim, and I'm not really into fighting games anymore. Dennis, on the other hand, is really into fighting games. So I am gonna be taking a back seat on this one and letting him do the full Tekken 8 review, which will be coming up soon on this channel, and it'll be from Dennis. Dennis is a very enthusiastic fighting game player. I unfortunately am not anymore. The days of me getting really competitive playing Tekken 5 and Street Fighter Alpha 3, those days are done. So I can say that Tekken 8 is a good game. It's just not a game I'm probably going to play very much. And then Street Fighter 6, I mean, lots of people like it, so that's great. I couldn't get on with it. So that's that. I know that's kind of a downer. Probably not what people wanted to hear. But, I don't know, I'm out of the fighting game sphere from now on. I think I'm a single-player guy. I mean, enjoying these other games that I have featured in this video so much, and enjoying these fighting games so little, has convinced me. I'm done. I'm out of the fighting games, I guess. But anyway, Tekken 8, I'm off on a tangent. Tekken 8, though, it is pretty good. I would recommend it. If you're a fighting game fan, Tekken 8 will be fantastic. So there it is, Tekken 8 in all its glory. God, I'm such a downer today. Okay, moving on from the fighting games, moving on from cynical bummer Jim to a much happier Jim, much happier with this game. Hitman: World of Assassination. I have played so much of this game, I don't even want to think about how many hours I've put into it. So I was a huge Hitman fan back in the day, as they say. Hitman 1 all the way up through Hitman Blood Money, I played and loved all of them. Hitman Absolution sucked. And then I didn't play any of the Hitman games after that. I didn't have any of the consoles from the last generation, so I never touched any of the World of Assassination trilogy. When I got my PS5, I picked up Hitman World of Assassination, which is everything from Hitman 1, 2, and 3, and then some. And this is, like, they kept some of the stuff that's kind of cool from Hitman Absolution. They kept the instinct and whatever, which can help you navigate stages pretty well. And there's certain characters in each stage that'll more easily see through your disguise than other characters. So they found like a nice middle ground with some of the mechanics that kind of worked but kind of didn't from Absolution. But they went back to the nice, just big open maps that you can explore and get to your targets all different kinds of ways. You can kill them with accidents, or you can just shoot them or strangle them or poison them. There's so many different ways to just annihilate people in this game. So that's awesome. And each of the story missions, you can follow along some kind of sort of like preset, storied way of like getting to the target and killing them. My favorite one was you go to this big mansion in England, and before you get there, somebody was already murdered. So like a private investigator is there to investigate the murder, and you can disguise yourself as the private investigator, and then it's like a whodunit. You get to go around interviewing people and collecting evidence and things until you figure out who did it, and then that's how you get close to your target, is you bring this information to them. So that was my favorite one of the kind of more story-driven missions in the game. But there's all kinds of different ways to complete each mission. It's up to you. As you complete missions, you get experience points, and you get more equipment and weapons that you can take with you. So that's all well and good. But aside from that, there's so much other stuff. I mean, there's a freelancer mode, which I've just been playing a ton of, where there are all the different maps in the game. And whenever you go to them, there's different targets, there are different NPCs kind of like randomly scattered around the map. And you have all these bonus objectives: kill them with a shotgun, or strangle them, or an accident, or an explosion. And as you do all that, you get money, and use the money to buy more and more weapons. And as you get experience points, you can upgrade your safe house. And so that's really fun. So that mode just ate up a lot of my time. I got so addicted to that mode. But then there's more. There's elusive targets, which are assassination attempts you can do on various maps, where the elusive target is there for a while and you only have one shot at killing them, and if you fail, you fail. And they're updating it all the time. There are sniper stages. There's contracts mode, which I haven't even started yet. I mean, there's just so much content in this game. And the gameplay itself, I find to be like just incredibly satisfying. So as someone who was a huge Hitman fan years ago, picking this up, this like reignited my passion for the series. The only thing I didn't like is the story kind of tries to make like Agent 47 be more of like a good guy, I guess. Which for me, you can't make 47 a good guy. Like, I understand does good things sometimes, maybe, but he's a hardened killer. He murders people for money, so he's not a good guy. If anything, you could maybe frame him sometimes. I guess they were going for like maybe making him like an anti-hero or something, but he's not. He kills people for money, and even in the freelancer mode, sometimes when you take down targets, because they're all part of like criminal organizations and stuff, Diana was like, oh, that'll make people think twice before turning to a life of crime. And I'm like, yeah, because, killing people for money, that's not a crime, obviously. But anyway, those little things aside, I've loved this game to hell and back. And this is another one that I'm just going to have to do a full review on. It's going to take me forever to write it, because this is just such a big game. And there's so much to do in it. And it's so... it's vast. It's a vast game with lots of content, and they're updating it all the time with more stuff. So yeah, I'll stop there because I feel like I'm going on and on and on. But Hitman, World of Assassination, I love this game, and if you've enjoyed any of the Hitman games in the past, I can easily recommend picking this up because it's awesome, and if you're anything like me, it will keep you playing for a good long while. Hitman, World of Assassination. Last but definitely not least, I picked up Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. And this is a game that, again, as a result of me not having any of the last generation's consoles, no PS4 or anything like that, I missed out on this game. And when it came out, I remember people just raving about it, talking about what an awesome game it is, and I saw the trailers and some gameplay footage, and it looked really, really good to me. It's just I didn't have a console to play it on at the time, and I didn't really have like the inclination to buy a PS4 just for like this one game. I don't know. At the time, I was in a more of a retro gaming phase, I guess. I was more into playing retro games and doing the YouTube shtick, so I wasn't really picking up new modern games or anything. But as soon as I got my PS5 and I saw there was a director's cut with all kinds of additional content and everything, and it's presumably like an upscaled version of the PS4 version, I was like, all right, let's give it a shot. And just immediately I was like, I love this game. It's so awesome. It's one of the best looking games I've ever seen. Just the sheer amount of detail contained in this game is awesome. Like, it has, you know, it's very familiar if you've played open world games. In particular, as I was playing it, I was thinking of games like Red Dead Redemption and things like that, just with cool samurais and stuff. But the things that really like grabbed me were, one, the visuals were amazing. Two, the gameplay is very fun. The sword fighting it's awesome. It's designed so well. It just makes you feel like such a total badass from like a Kurosawa film, just chopping people up. And then the stealth stuff is fun too. I was getting like shades of like Tenchu and stuff, like jumping off of roofs and assassinating people and doing all that stuff. So the gameplay was just fun immediately. Dueling with people, taking out big groups of people, liberating towns and camps and stuff. Just so much fun. Finding all the little hidden power-ups and little extras here and there dotted around. That's fun too. All the little side missions. I was having a great time with it. Getting all the different kinds of armor and just upgrading everything. There's a lot to do. I'm not done with it yet. I still have a lot more to explore for the main game, and there's the side mission. There's an additional island you can go and explore. I haven't even gotten to that yet. And then there's the Legends mode. You can go in there. I dabbled with that just a little bit just to see what the hell it was. But that's pretty cool. That seems like something. I know it's an online mode, and I just got done saying that I don't really like playing games online, but that's something I might want to try out just because it's a cooperative thing, and it just looks really freaking cool. But yeah, so I've been just loving the gameplay. The visuals are amazing, and I'm enjoying the story as well. This story of Jin being like this samurai, wanting to stick to the samurai code, but at the same time having to bend it and use tactics that he would find otherwise dishonorable in order to defend his people and defeat the enemy. So I like that. I like that story. I like the character. I like the characters generally. All the other characters you interact with are really cool too. So just all the way around, I've been loving this game. Like I said, it feels like I've lost most of my passion for fighting games, but I haven't lost any of my enjoyment of really good single-player experiences. Like Ghost of Tsushima, like Hitman, like Robocop. These games have just been absolutely amazing. So while I sounded like a total downer, and I can admit, talking about Street Fighter 6 and to a lesser extent Tekken 8, I can assure you I've been having the absolute time of my life playing, again, Robocop, Hitman, Ghost of Tsushima. It's been so much fun. So yeah, if you've never played Ghost of Tsushima before, if you're like me and you just didn't have the previous generation of consoles or whatever the case may be, if you have a PS5, get the director's cut. It's amazing. I can't speak highly enough of it, and I am going to finish this game, and I do intend, I don't know if I want to make a review of it, because that seems kind of pointless. 4-year-old game, and it's already been reviewed to hell and back. But maybe some kind of deeper dive video on it, just because I have a lot of thoughts on it. I appreciate it a lot, but just for now, I guess it suffices for a pickups video to just say, this game is amazing. I understand now why it got such high praise when it was first released. So I'm enjoying it. I have every intention of finishing it, and then maybe doing some kind of additional longer form video on it. But Ghost of Tsushima director's cuts, it is a damn good game. So there you go, everybody. Those are half a dozen PS5 games. I had a lot to say about these. Again, I saved some of it for the full reviews that you can check out whenever they come up on the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun with some of these. I've put in ridiculous amounts of hours into some of them, which is kind of the reason why I felt like I really should review some of them, just because, like, I don't know, at this point, I feel like if I'm playing a game that much, I should probably try to do something at least maybe kind of productive with that time as well. Not to say that, like, playing video games isn't kind of productive in its own way, because it makes you happy, and whatever makes you happy, in my opinion, is, well, it can be considered productive. It's like taking care of yourself, I guess. But productive in the sense of I have to have videos on my YouTube channel. It's kind of the purpose of having a YouTube channel. So yeah, working real hard on these. You know, I'm not going to do full reviews of like Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8. Actually, Dennis has his coming up pretty soon. We're going to be publishing a full review of Tekken 8 on the channel, but Dennis is way, way more into the game than I am. So he'll be taking the reins for that review. But you know, I might have more to say on Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8 sometime in the future. Who knows? I might have to make an update video as I play those games more. But as of right now, I don't know, maybe the spark is dying for me just a little bit when it comes to the fighting games, but hey, who the hell knows, I could turn that ship around. Anyway, down in the comments, everyone, what do you think of any of these games, if you've played them, and what are some games you've picked up recently that you've been having fun with, and you think maybe I would be interested in? I'd like to know. I'd like to go down there and read all those comments and get your 2 cents. So by all means, throw your opinions down in the comments and I will check them out. But with that being said, thanks for watching, everyone. This has been Mad Panic Gaming. I'm Jim, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.